I have a daughter, Tracy, age 28 years old, who was diagnosed with full FAS at the age of 2. I have been in the advocacy work for about 10 years now and involved with the Circle of Hope Birth Mother Network for 9 years. I'm grateful for the Birth Mother Network. What it has done has, most importantly, has shown me that I'm not alone. I'm not the only mom who's done this. The ability to connect with other women, to share our stories, to find all of our common strengths, to help each other work through the guilt and shame that we carry around with us for so many years has been a great gift. We're strong women, and we have power in numbers, and hopefully that helps erase the stigma. And for years I had carried around the guilt that the #1 thing on my bucket list was to successfully raise a child. And when my daughter was diagnosed, and then when she got the label of mentally retarded, I told myself I could never cross off #1 thing on my list. I could never successfully raise a child because my child wasn't going to be successful. And I was sitting at a table at lunchtime sharing my story, and all of a sudden it dawned on me that I have a child who is not homicidal or suicidal. I have a child who's drug-free. I have a child who loves unconditionally, and she's one of the happiest people I know. And it was then I realized that I had successfully raised a child. And I was able to share when I was on the panel there that I couldn't wait to get home because I was going to be able to cross that off my list, that I had successfully raised a child. And it was only being able to speak with other women who had been on the same journey and being able to share my story that I realized that I've learned Tracy's who Tracy is, and I need to accept her just for who she is. She's going to come in early in the morning and wake me up. She's going to be the last one up at night and tell me when it's time to go to bed. And that's just Tracy. Tracy feels more confident when she thinks she's in control of the situation. And so it was easier for me to let her think she was in control. Tracy likes to talk on the phone a lot. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. My last month's cell phone bill, she used 12,000 minutes. Thank God for unlimited minutes. But you know what? I don't harp on it anymore. It doesn't cost me anything more than the regular service, so I don't harp on it. I let it go. And she knows I'm in recovery. And I said, well, you know that I used to drink and do drugs. And I said, and you know how you get easily frustrated and you can't add 2 + 2 and you don't read. I said, that's because when you were in my tummy, I drank. And so that caused part of your brain to be broken. And if I was ever given the opportunity to do it all again, I would never intentionally do anything like that. And she just turned around and looked at me and said, I know, Mom, I love you. But that gave me the opportunity to tell her how sorry I was. And when she told me it was okay, then that's all that mattered. It didn't matter what everybody else thought of me. She knew why she was different, and she told me it was okay, and she loved me anyway. I'm proud of who I am today. I'm not that woman that I was. I'm proud of my daughter today. My daughter has taught me much more about life than I think any typical child could. My daughter has taught me, well, obviously patience, acceptance. She's taught me more about unconditional love. She's taught me about forgiveness. But Tracy, she wants to like everybody, and she wants everybody to like her. And that's what I learned from her also. You know, she sees the good in everybody. Maybe some people she shouldn't see good in, but she does. And I try and look at the world through her eyes and see it the way she sees it. All of a sudden, it's like she hit 27 and something clicked in her, and she's just like, I can walk through my fears, I can do this. When we were in Phoenix, she went up for a plane ride with my brother in a small plane, which she has been afraid to do for years. And this time she said, I'm getting on that airplane, and she got on it and took off. She chose to have elective surgery this year to prevent pregnancy. And she is scared to death of a needle. And that's the reason we had never done it before. And this year she said, I'm ready, and chose to have the surgery. Tracy also moved out 3 months ago. So I have this new freedom in my life. She lived with me for 28 years. And now she moved into a group home. Absolutely perfect placement for her so far. keeping our fingers crossed. And she's flourishing now. She's becoming independent. She's cutting the ties from me, and that was a little hard that I didn't have everyday control over her life anymore. Of those 12,000 cell phone minutes, I'm down to 1 phone call a day, which is remarkable from the 10 to 20 phone calls a day I used to get. If you drank while pregnant, contact NOFAS, come into a room with women who know exactly what you've done, and we'll help you. Together we can. Together we can be the best moms that we can be to our children.